Deep in the shadows, I know it's hard to put one foot in front of the other.
Hi guys, CeeChronicles here, back again with another fragrance review video. If you're new here, I post fragrance related content and would very much appreciate it if you did decide to join this family by subscribing. Now, if you are already subscribed, thank you so much for the continued support. Now, welcome to today's video. I have a fragrance to review for you here, Athena from the house of Maison Alhambra. So it does look like while Latifah was busy with the eclairs, and I know they've dropped another musical one and the Latifah Serenal, their subsidiary was not sleeping. Okay, so this is a fairly new fragrance, at least for now, because there isn't much information about it, but you know, it's kind of, you know, coming up here and there. But I was so happy to pick this one. Now, this is the packaging for Athena, and this is the bottle for Athena. Now, just going on the packaging and the bottle kind of looks feminine to me, but I'm going to tell you what it's all about. However, before I say that, I'm going to clue you up that this is a DNA that you really have been asking for, at least a lot of you guys, okay? Athena is built around a very prominent vanilla note there. It does feel like a double, even triple dose of vanilla absolute. So this is going to be centered on a very sweet pop of a juice there that you get in the opening. Something in this is going to feel like cacao. And then there is a very evident, a very present lavender to my nose, and I feel that the lavender in here is very aromatic, very busy, right? So where it starts off there very sweet, it does maintain the sweetness, but you are going to get like a prominent aromaticness be in the wrap up or the center stage of this fragrance. However, it does not lose the vanilla to an extent. This is one of the best vanilla fragrances that I have smelled so far. It is a sweet fragrance. Of course, it's going to incorporate those florals. It's also going to have some patchouli, right? A decent dose of patchouli to an extent that maybe that would be the only con for a lot of people that probably don't like the patchouli. Now, enough of this suspense, guys. This fragrance to my nose smells exactly like Burberry Goddess. Okay, so it looks like this Fast Fingers first thing is really pushing the Middle Eastern fragrance industry to go for the DNAs that people are actually really asking for, because Burberry Goddess is still a fairly new release. I mean, if you ask me. Guys, if you always see me with a green tongue, it's because I take these glucose sweets from time to time, and I like the lemon flavored ones, but they do come with a color, so you know, they leave like I always have like a green tongue. There's nothing wrong with my tongue or anything like that, just to get it out of the way. So anyway, it does look like the Fast Fingers first thing has taken over the fragrance industry again. I can't wait to see what Maison Alhambra has been cooking as well behind the scenes. I've noticed that they have another one, if I'm not mistaken. Didn't purchase that one because it's drawing its inspiration of a fragrance that's already weak, okay, popularly weak, from what you call it, it's not coming to mind, but if it does, I'm gonna stick it there on the screen while I edit this video. So I didn't feel the need to purchase that because it's generally drawing from that DNA that is weak. Now, going back to this Athena, guys, if you have used Burberry Goddess, you will know that that is a very toothache sweet dose of a fragrance. Some can call it feminine toned, but the lavender in here is a little bit of a twist to the original. It does match the original, right, to the tea. Like side by side, you wouldn't be able to tell them apart, but I just feel this one is probably a little bit amped up there when it comes to the lavender, to an extent that within its wear, maybe 3-4 hours in, it kind of starts to give you that vibe of Libre Intense, right? Like it's kind of yo-yoing between Libre Intense and Burberry Goddess, right? So the common denominator between those two fragrances to my nose would be that lavender note. So it is one thing that I attributed that push and pull there that happens in the mid and the dry down and the entire way of this fragrance, where it kind of pushes very much aromatic there, of course holding on to the vanilla, but very much aromatic to an extent that some people will at some point think, you know, this fragrance is smelling very much like that Libre but the Intense. Good news about this one is, in as much as it just dropped in my collection, because I couldn't wait to smell this one. I was just curious. I was just thinking, I hope it's not going to be another My Way or something, you know, because you really get tired of some of these DNAs, especially when you buy them and expecting like a pleasant surprise. I'm going to show you another one I bought in a minute there. I was just hoping it wasn't going to be that. So I bought it and I couldn't wait to smell it, and I just said straight away, I was just getting that Burberry Goddess, and I just said I'm going to clue anybody up who cares to listen, because this is a DNA that you guys wanted. I did a full review of Burberry Goddess on my second channel, and you guys came to me full force saying, please, as soon as you get something that smells anything close to this, bring it to us. So this one vibes in that same way. The longevity is amazing. It is a fragrance that can potentially last all day. This I can speak for because it is very pushy there. Some of you will find it a little bit pushy there, because I think it is, of course, that overdose of that lavender and that patchouli that is doing the most and giving this a lasting power. Overall, the DNA is going to feel as though it is feminine, but that lavender, again, as I said, would be the one that if a man wants to carry this, they can carry it, as in they can wear it. Season is going to be ideal for cooler weather. I mean, if you know how pushy that Burberry Goddess, or even the intense version of that, or the Libre intense version is, you will know that it is one of those fragrances that can borderline be heady. But of course, you can wear this fragrance any season. I'm just cluing you up in case you're one of those people that are super sensitive and, you know, are prone to headaches, especially when a DNA does a little bit too much. So that is what I can say about Athena. Gonna feel a little bit there in, you know, it's during the way, it's gonna feel a little bit like Libre Intense, but you will definitely get that Burberry Goddess kick there. Cacao, all the nice things, chocolate tea, you name it, sweet in a bottle. That's what I can say. Now, here's another fragrance I bought, right? And this particular Sayyad Gold is from a house of Amaf, and Amaf has got this subsidiary called the Sterling Perfumes, right? So I bought this fragrance, and this is what I was talking about, you know, buying fragrances blindly, because where I purchase my fragrances, they don't allow you to smell the fragrances, you know, you just buy it and just hope for the best. So when I saw this box here, I actually thought this would be drawing inspiration from Perfume, all right, by Perfume. I still am not sure what this draws its inspiration from, if it is an inspiration board. Why I have it here is to just ask you guys if you would be interested in me buying these fragrances, because the same stockist where I bought my Maison Alhambra seems to have a lot of these Risala fragrances in their stock. Okay, they say Risala, Sterling there. This particular one is Sayyad Gold. There's an Sayyad Black. There's a lot of other Risalas there, different shapes and bottles and colors and stuff. So if this is a brand, or if this subsidiary of Amaf is something that you can find near you and you would be interested in reviews, let me know, then I can bring them to you. Now, I'm not going to just come here and go and tell you my thoughts on this one. I did spray it in a box, but I am not so... It's one of those that you're like, oh, okay, you get my point. I mean, if it changes, it changes. It does interpret a lot differently, you know, in the box than it does on the clothing, right? But it kind of gives me that Middle Eastern vibe, and I'm just, you know, at that point where, you know, you just stereotype certain fragrances and you're like, oh, okay, there we go again. It's aromatic, it's herbal, it's got a little bit of some greenness or whatever. This, to my nose, and as much as I do remember smelling that Perfume by, Perfume by Perfume, where I'd say I cannot, you know, drop this one as drawing inspiration from that. And as much as it does have a zingy accord that you get from that Perseus or whatever, but it's a PDM that comes in a box like this that is made for men, right? There is a zingy thing in common, but that's where it starts and ends, because this one then becomes spicy, green, embery, soapy, that sort of thing. And then it has that oudi feel, that oudi accord that you get from the Middle Eastern fragrances. So unfortunately, because I've got a gazillion of these particular fragrances that smell like this, you know, in my collection, it's not one that wowed me, but the DNA feels very easy to pull off if you're a man than if you're a woman. I was hoping this would probably, you know, be a DNA that can be carried by women, because they do have a black one, you know, that looks like this, but it's black. So I was hoping maybe this would be feminine toned. Yes, I can see a female carrying this, but you'd have to be a female that likes Middle Eastern toned fragrances, because you're going to get a little bit of greenness there, aromatic tone there. But there is something in here that I actually like, to be honest, like like an embery thing, an embery wrap up. It kind of feels a little bit synthetic there, but it's kind of soothing the rough edges of this, and I do like it. So I don't know if it's going to change, guys, but why I'm showing you here, was not to review it. It was just for me to ask you if you would be interested in this line called Risala. And Risala is actually a subsidiary of Amaf. So if you can get your hands on those, let me know, and then I can try and bring you a host of them, because I did see them, but I didn't want to waste my coins and, you know, hoard something that I would come and talk about here and you guys would have no clue as to what I'm talking about. Otherwise, today it's been about this awesome discovery, Athena. CeeChronicles is my name. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm just putting my mini back. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let's meet in the comment section, guys, where we discuss more about fragrances. Let me know your thoughts on this fragrance. Have you smelled it? Do you have it? Do you own it? Have you seen it? To those who sell fragrances, buy this fragrance, guys. Buy it. Buy it. I mean, it's a good one. It's going after a DNA that I've had like a dozen people in my comment section asking for this DNA. So buy it. You will make money, guys. Turn on post notifications. That way you get to be notified anytime I upload a video. Like and share this one, and remember that smelling good is a form of good manners. Cheers.